Hi students, welcome to Shortcut. So today we will study the use of if or unless in the sentences. Now it is a very important topic that how we use if or unless in a sentence. So there are very few rules for this, so that we will discuss in today's class. So let's start. The rule 1 that you can see on a screen is, if in a sentence if and not are given then it is replaced by unless. मतलब यहाँ पर कहने का है कि अगर सेंटेंस के अंदर if और not दिया गया है then you will see that you have to replace if and not both with unless. How we'll do this thing? The first example on your screen you can see here is, if you don't study you will fail. If you don't study you will fail. You can see the words that are mentioned here, if and not, that they are highlighted with blue color only. If and not is there in the sentence, so we have to replace if and not with unless. So we will put this unless in place of if and not. Then the new sentence formed will be, unless you study you will fail. So how we will replace it? If and don't will be removed. If and don't will be removed from the next sentence, and we put unless in place of if and don't. Unless you study you will fail. So this way you can remove if and not and replace it with unless. One more example from the same thing. If you don't come the party will be boring. Now here again you can see if is there and not is there if you don't. So again the same rule will be applied, that is if and not will be replaced by unless. Unless you come the party will be boring. So what we did here, again we have replaced with unless. So we have replaced if and not with unless. Unless you come the party will be boring. The other sentence completely will be copied same to same. So this is the first rule for this. If plus not is there then you can replace it with unless. Now moving on to the next thing, that is the reverse. If it is unless then you can replace it with if and not. The vice versa, we can say that if in a sentence unless is used, you can use if and not in place of unless, like we did in these sentences. If the sentence would have been like this, unless you come the party will be boring. So in spite of using unless, what we use? If you don't come the party will be boring. We'll take another example for this. Unless you work hard your project will be rejected. Now here you can see unless is used, and what do we do when unless is used? We replace unless with if not. So if not, how we'll put? Unless you work hard your project will be rejected. Now first of all we have to see, unless you work hard. Unless you work hard. If you don't work hard, what will happen? Your project will be rejected. So this result, that is your project will be rejected, that if you don't work hard your project will be rejected. The other part, that is your project will be rejected, will be copied the same way your project will be rejected. But what we will do here, unless is replaced with if and not. So how we'll do this? If you work hard, so we have to put not also. So if you don't work hard your project will be rejected. How will replace it? Unless is replaced with if. If you don't work hard your project will be rejected. The next rule for this is, if in a sentence the word if is only used, if there is only if in the sentence, then we will replace it with unless not. What we will use? Unless and not both. The example you can see on your screen. If you like you can go. If you like you can go. Here you can say only one if is there, nothing else. So as the rule suggests us that if is replaced by unless and not. So how will do? If is replaced by unless. Unless you like you can't go. Unless you like you cannot go. So we have replaced if with unless and not we have to see that not is also included in the sentence. And note, the best position for note will be you cannot go or you can't go. So this way you can simply change the sentence with if into unless not. Now here is one exception also in this case. Now there are some sentences where if and there are two nots. Two nots means they are not together, but that another note will be in the sentence, the other part of the sentence where you will get the result. Now in this case what you will do, now first of all we'll see how you can form the sentence with if, not and not. Now you can read the sentence below. If you don't study, you won't succeed. Now here you can see the highlighted blue words. If is there. If you don't study, again not you got. If you don't study, you won't succeed. Here it is not, again not, and if is also there. So what they want to say, if you don't study, you won't succeed. Now how these sentences with if, then not and another not, what we have to do in these cases. Now here, as we earlier we studied that if and not is replaced by unless. If and not is replaced by unless. The same here we will do, that in place of if and not, one if and not, what we'll do, we will put unless. What we'll put? We'll put unless, and this not will be used as it is. Okay, the not which is in the resulting sentence, that is what the doer wants to tell, that if you don't study, कि आप नहीं पढ़ोगे, you won't succeed, you will not get the success, कि अगर आप नहीं पढ़ोगे तो क्या रिजल्ट मिलेगा, आपको सक्सेस नहीं मिलेगी. तो ये जो पार्ट है सेंटेंस का, it will be used as it is. You can see here, you won't succeed, you won't succeed, same we have copied down. But here we have to do the change. If you don't study, so if and not is replaced by unless, so it will be unless you study, you won't succeed. So these are the some rules, and very easy rules to change if not into unless, or we can even replace unless to if not. So there are some extra sentences that you can practice at home. Now the sentences are in front of you. If I am invited, I shall go. Now you have to replace remove if from here. If you don't hurry, you will miss the bus. Now you can see if is there and not is also there. Now what will be the result, that you have to find yourself. If you eat too much, you will be ill. Now here is only one if. Now unless you have permission, you can't leave. Unless is there and not is also there. Unless he wears glasses, he can't see. Unless is there and not is also there. So here is the exercise for your practice, and this is the topic that we have just studied. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.